Hey traders, it is Friday, August 29th, into the weekend. Markets are down a little bit. I think we're seeing a little bit of worries here as we're waiting kind of for some inflation data this morning. It's just before 8:30. We're also got, I think, jobs data coming out. So there's probably going to be a little bit of a shakeup, and all that stuff kind of ties into whether the Fed may or may not increase or drop rates, whatever they're going to do. So expect a little bit of news and chop here. Equities are trading slightly lower with a little bit of fear, which is typically normal. We had a little bit of a pop there yesterday and a little bit of news due out. And usually when there's news pending, usually we see the market sell off. Usually people get nervous about the news and it kind of goes down. And once the news is released, you realize it's not the end of the world and the market goes higher. But we'll see how that shakes out for the day. Now, overall, we've got... utilities have been moving down quite a bit yesterday. We have consumer staples have been moving down. We have also healthcare not really budging anywhere. And these top three sectors, these are the three defensive sectors. Now, we're also seeing gold move down and silver today. And to me, this is actually a bullish sign. It means we're seeing money moving away from the defensive space. And that means people are kind of getting ready or moving towards equities, more risk on things. So this to me is a bullish sign. But again, we'll just let the market work itself out. The overall trend for the stock market remains up. The overall trend for gold, silver, and miners remain up. Gold is getting very close to starting to break out here and could have a really nice run for about a 15 to potentially like 35% run. So there is some pretty good upside. And if that happens, I think we'll be very, very close to the stock market putting in a significant top. The last time we saw gold have this type of setup and explode higher, the stock market pretty much topped at the same time. They went in opposite directions. So that's kind of where we've been hovering. Same story I've been talking about for a while. Nothing has changed. We're just letting the market work itself out. And that's about it. So today we are seeing the dollar trade slightly higher. If we just zoom in here, it's been floundering and struggling the last few days, but overall it's trying to carve out a bottom. It's been moving down. Now it's more so moving sideways, but again, just trying to figure out what's going on. There's fear in the market. We tend to see the dollar move up when there's fear. When the dollar moves up, we do see the gold and silver typically have a little bit of downward pressure. If we take a quick look at the chart of bonds, TLT, it's had a nice pop the last two trading sessions. Overall, trying to figure out what it is going to do. Obviously, it's tied to rates. Economic data can help might make people think the Fed is going to do something more like sooner or change direction. And of course, so economic data tends to move the perception and move bonds around based on where interest rates may go. But overall, it's still flatlining and nothing too exciting at this point. If we take a look over at crude oil, we do have crude oil down 0.33%, nothing significant. Again, it's fallen. It's kind of been trading sideways. I do think it'll eventually resolve to the downside. It might have another little bit of a short covering hook, might have another little pop and squeeze up maybe before it goes down. But overall, the long-term trend is down and it's stuck pretty much under all the key moving averages, which are sloping down as well. If we take a look over at Bitcoin continues to be struggling. It's down 1.6% today. Another one I remember wanted to look at here was, let me see, I think it's ETH. The Ethereum ETF, it's trading a little bit lower in pre-market, but overall it has been going the opposite direction. We're definitely seeing money flow into Ethereum, into altcoins, and it seems like the big brother Bitcoin has kind of fallen out of sync. And so we'll see how that goes. This is a very volatile chart pattern right here. This strong run up, gap, and sharp pullback, a huge rally up on one day, and then a pullback. It's kind of a bearish kind of pattern. It's showing big increased volatility. Typically, when we start to get into these big pops and drops, it can signal a top in the market. So if this is going to head down, we could see it head down, and that means the market could be falling as well. We could see the NASDAQ and things. But again, we'll just let this market shake itself out. That's about it. Not a whole lot. We're just going to let the indices and investors kind of do what they're going to do. Yesterday was a nice day in the market. Market's pulling back a little bit, and soon we'll see how the market closes for the week and go from there. When we look at the weekly chart of the NASDAQ, it does show we had a shakeout low, a little sell-off, it's rebounded, it's a close chart pattern, it's holding above this 5-period moving average, and is showing it's primed and ready for a pop and a breakout to new highs. If we look at the S&P or the SPY, which is the S&P 500, it continues to run and move higher. And this is showing us that it's more of a broad market rally. We're seeing more of a broad market move up, whereas the NASDAQ is very tech and biotech heavy, and it's been kind of stalled and stuck for a couple of weeks. So we might start to see the tech space play catch up and have a move higher next week if that's the case. If we take a look at Biotech had a little bit of a sell-off earlier in the week. Let me just go back to the daily chart here. It did have one big down day, but it's kind of recovered back overall. It still has a nice chart pattern when we look at it. It's based, it's at a pop, pause, pop, pause, pop, pause. So it is stair-stepping its way up, and you can see the key moving averages, the shorter term, the 50, 20, and 5, have crossed up above the 150-day, and so it is showing some signs of life and working itself up. And if this starts to rally up too and breaks out, that'll definitely help bring the NASDAQ higher as well.